Nathan, on this segment, we are going to be talking about the NFL. I'm going to do a lot more listening because the NFL is your wheelhouse. I like the NFL. I follow it. I do fantasy and I do okay in fantasy.
Okay is an understatement.
I was being modest a little bit. Moving on to football. DeAndre Hopkins got cut from the Cardinals of Arizona. And I had saw this stuff on social media that he was going out to New England to talk to Belichick and all of that. And I was just like,
Why?
why? I don't get it. Like,
New
who
England was not the
cares?
place.
And it was not the place. And then Bill
Mac
O'Brien
Jones.
is going to be there, his former coach in Texas. I mean, that marriage came to a ugly
And
end, irreconcilable
David
difference.
Johnson,
Yeah. And I mean, the trade that they made for him was complete
they completely undervalued DHop.
garbage. Now, is there anything left in the tank for DeAndre Hopkins?
I do think that DeAndre Hopkins still has something left in him. I had him on fantasy last year after he came back. He was a very solid player. I just think that he's just not going to work out in Tennessee. Reason being, not only is he going to have to share the load with Derrick Henry, so both of their numbers are going to go down because he's never had to play with a star running back.
Didn't he play with Arian Foster in Houston?
I'm 15, not 36.
And
I have
first
no
of all,
idea who
Arian
that
Foster
is.
is not that old.
I'm saying I have no idea who that is. When they were playing, I was like 7.
And Lamar Miller,
Lamar,
he wasn't a stud
they
like
sound
that.
they sound very
Talk what you know.
Derrick Henry is a top 3 running back.
Correct.
He has never played with somebody in the top 5 running back situation. If you want to argue Lamar Miller is in the top 5, go ahead.
I mean,
I have no idea who that
I'm not
is.
saying that, but I'm saying he did have some decent running backs.
Decent, but he never
He has
had
some good-
somebody.
Arian Foster was very good. He was like number 1 in fantasy one
He
time.
never has had somebody be
He's
this
cuckoo
insane.
now. He's the one. Arian Foster is the one that said the NFL is scripted.
I don't.
Have you seen that?
No.
It's like all the outcomes are already. I think he got.
Didn't he play in the NFL?
Yeah, he got some mental health concerns. See, people laugh at this stuff, and I see it. I'm like, he got some mental health concerns. That ain't funny. That's
I'm trying to
realistic.
think. How do you play in the NFL and
say
then
that
say
it's
it's scripted?
Correct.
Because how are you gonna? You're in the middle of a game and your coach just magically knows, oh, I'm gonna make him fumble. No, you're controlling yourself.
It's complete lunacy. But anyhow, it's become a running joke now. So now this man is the butt of jokes. But anyhow,
what I was saying was Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
He is King Henry, as his name says. DeAndre Hopkins has never had to. He's never going to have to share the load as much as he will this upcoming season, and it's also going to take a turn for him because they don't have a good quarterback.
Who is their quarterback?
We don't even know. It might be Ryan Tannehill. It might be Malik Willis. It might be the dude they drafted in the second round.
Who did they draft in the second round?
I don't even know his name. He's the dude who puts sour cream in his coffee or whatever he does.
Oh.
Eats the banana with the peel. It's disgusting. The point is, they have a mediocre quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
I like Malik Willis, but he's just not that guy.
Mm.
They have such a mediocre quarterback situation that it seems that DeAndre Hopkins is just going to have to take a dip in everything. Because he's had Deshaun Watson, he's had Kyler Murray. Now he's having who? You don't even know yet.
All right. So in fantasy, are you taking DeAndre win? What level quarterback would he be for you? 1, 2, or 3?
For my receivers?
Yeah.
He's a wide receiver 2.
He's a 2. Okay. So speaking of Dalvin Cook, he hasn't been signed yet, along with Zeke, along with Leonard Fournette, and some other notable running backs. What do you think about it?
I think that Dalvin Cook has a very good chance of going to a good team. I think Ezekiel Elliott is going to have to go to a... What are you doing? I think Ezekiel Elliott...
I want to see what you're going to say about my boy Zeke. That's what I'm listening.
I think Ezekiel Elliott is going to have to get a very minimal contract because teams do not want an old running back. Running backs only stay good for so long.
That's true. I think on the right team, like Buffalo can use a Zeke. Yeah, they sure could. Sign him up, Buffalo.
I don't see him in Buffalo.
Would you rather have Singletary?
I just don't see him in Buffalo.
Well,
I can't see.
Why? Because the cold.
Not just that.
I mean, all they need is a grinder for third downs, and I mean, he would give them the grit that they need. A Buffalo,
it depends on what Zeke
or
wants.
Pittsburgh, even a Pittsburgh.
still thinks that he's worth something more than he is.
I think Pittsburgh would be a perfect spot for him
Zeke
to be
thinks he's worth over $10 million a year.
I think Pittsburgh would be a perfect spot for him to be a compliment to Najee Harris. I think that would be a perfect 1-2 punch, and he can mentor him. That's my opinion.
Send him to Pittsburgh, but I just don't see him in Buffalo with the Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen. The way they run their offense.
Okay, what about Dalvin Cook? What about Leonard Fournette? Where do you see these guys going?
Dalvin Cook needs to go to a very solid. He's still a very solid running back.
Why did the Vikings cut him? Your favorite team?
Salary. It's all salary. They cut so many people on defense. It's all about salary. They cut Zadarius Smith. They cut Dalvin Cook. They let go Adam Thielen. They let all these people go because of salary issues.
So Dalvin Cook ain't, like you said in the beginning, running backs shelf life is short. And
very short.
So they're cutting bait right now, basically. It is just curious to me that he hasn't landed somewhere already. But and then what about Leonard Fournette?
I think Leonard Fournette, I'm surprised that he got that they're letting him walk. I think that he can do really well in a pass-heavy offense because it seems like running backs that are boulders like Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette, they do really difficult in a run-heavy offense strictly because it's so much wear and tear on them. That's why running backs only last so long. Because when you keep feeding them the ball, that's why people like Austin Eckler can be good.
So you say he needs to be a pass-happy.
He needs to be able to take a lesser load. Because think about Austin Eckler and how long he's been able to perform. It's because he catches the ball a lot. They don't run the ball 24/7. Whereas Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb and all these people, even though they're still great, they're taking way more toll on their bodies. So they're going to get cut off quicker.
So I can see him signing with a team. You say a high-power offense. Well, that's Kansas City.
I could easily see him fitting into Kansas City with him and Pacheco.
What about a team like they were scrubby last year, but they got a new coach, Denver.
I was oh my gosh.
Because Sean Payton loves to throw. And if Russell Wilson.
You're horrible with names.
No, because I was about to talk Russell Westbrook.
That's the point. Why are you thinking of Russell Westbrook?
Because it's two Russells. Anyway, if Wilson can give us a semblance of himself in the past.
So what are they going to do with Javonte Williams?
I don't know. He got hurt.
He was on the up and up. And
we have to see how he returns from injury. Okay, that's enough on those guys for free agency. Let's go to lightning round.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go contenders or pretenders.
You want me to just say contender, pretender, and then you can ask me if you want to know why?
And yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to pick some teams. Let's start in the NFC first. And this team, I don't know, did they make the play? Did the Lions make the playoffs last year? No, they didn't.
The Packers and Lions were fighting for it. The Lions knocked the Packers out. Then it was
okay. But let me ask you: Detroit has made some moves.
Yes,
people like them. I like their coach Dan Campbell.
Yes,
they got David Montgomery from the Bears, but they let my boy Swift just go to Philadelphia. It was a similar thing with Dalvin Cook.
I think Philadelphia definitely upgraded, getting Swift and letting Sanders go to Carolina.
Was it Carolina? Jacksonville, one of the two. Carolina. All right. Detroit, contenders or pretenders?
This is difficult. I think that they are a contender right now for not necessarily they are a serious contender for the NFC North with how much the Vikings have let go on defense. I think it'll be the Vikings and Lions fighting for that top spot in the NFC North.
All right. Let's go with the NFC West and say the 49ers. Contender.
Not even a question. The only thing they need to do is figure out that quarterback situation.
So then there is a question.
But Dad, when you talk about what's on that team, there is no way I don't consider them a contender.
Okay. This one, I don't know how I feel about this because I like the coach. I like the traction that they were making.
Say the team.
And they made the right move to get this quarterback, but I hate the quarterback. The Jets. Contender or pretender? With Aaron.
Okay, are we talking contender for the
Super Bowl?
Playoffs or
Super Bowl. No, it's Super Bowl. They didn't bring him to just get to
pretender.
Okay. Say more about that.
They're not beating the Buffalo Bills for the AFC East.
First of all, Buffalo ain't
They're not
even
beating
Cincinnati.
they're not beating the Miami Dolphins for a playoff spot either.
Okay.
So unless Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets can make it into the playoffs, they are pretenders automatically.
All right. Okay, we're going to keep moving. We mentioned them earlier, and I'm going to bring them up one more time. Denver, and I'm bringing them up because of Deshaun Payton.
Pretenders.
Yeah, I agree.
They're pretenders until Russell Wilson proves that he can still play football.
I agree with that 100%. Speaking of the Bears, since that is our team that we root for,
Yes.
I will mention them last. Contenders or pretenders. We know they're not contenders for a Super Bowl.
For a Super Bowl? Or we're not talking Super Bowl? What are we talking?
We know they're not contenders for the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
Okay. What about, will they make the playoffs?
I don't think so this year.
I don't think so.
I think in 2 years, 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
they will have a serious chance.
First of all, 2-3 years is a long time in sports.
2
all right,
years is
so here you have it. Nathan has said the 49ers are contenders. Detroit are contenders. Bears pretenders. Jets pretenders. And Denver are pretenders. So we will see. Tune in next time as we continue this lively conversation of obviously sports.
Peace out.
Booyah.